It's definitely been a very strange week. I've not made a video for quite a few days. In fact, I don't think I've made one since last weekend, and it's because I'm doing as much on site as I possibly can. I'm trying to cut everything back as far back as possible. So every week from now, as we approach autumn, that job's going to get easier and easier because I found quite a few other bits and bobs that need doing on site. So I'm definitely going to have my time filled. But what I've been doing this morning is going through my seed box. We've not looked in there for quite a while, and as you can see, we've got loads and loads of seeds. That's only half of them. I chucked as many away again a couple of weeks ago because they've gone out of date. But what I'm actually looking for is some seeds to sow in this Greenstalk vertical planter. But because it's this time of year, approaching the end of August, we've got to look for something that's going to do all right or grow quick and produce fast harvests. So all your usual stuff like lettuce, but I have got quite a lot of lettuce on go already. We've already got a complete row of little gems in that planter. So I thought maybe because it's starting to cool down a little bit, we ought to try some more spinach, because when it was hot a few weeks ago, that spinach that we had bolted, and it's notorious for doing that if it gets too warm. But now we've got that planter, we can put some in and we can rotate it so we can keep it out at sun as much as possible. But that's if it gets hot again. I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but in the mornings it is starting to get quite cool. You can feel that bit of a chilling air when you go outside, and that's a sign that autumn's on its way. It's going to get up to about 71 Fahrenheit this afternoon, which is great, but there's a wind as well, and that's another thing that's happened this week. Those winds return once again, but this time we had 45-mile-an-hour winds for 2 days, so it pretty much battered a lot of plants out there. Everything seems okay, but it's the thing what we have to do at this time of year, getting everything put in shelter. So everything that was on the front of that van, or quite a lot of it, we had to move right back at van because it doesn't get as much wind there. And that did a lot to help protect his plants. And I think it was probably very windy all over the country as well, not just here. But we do seem to be constantly battling against elements this year. It's been a very strange one. It's got really hot, which has caused plants to bolt. Then it's dropped quite cold. We've had excess amounts of rain and wind. So certainly not the best year for growing so far. We can still do things in autumn though. So that's why I'm looking through these seeds, and we'll see what we've got that's going to be okay as it drops slightly colder. It's not going to drop to minus straight away, we know that. That usually happens around January. So we've still got quite a while where we can get things going. So because it's a planter, I'm looking for things that either harvest quick or dwarf varieties of things. And I found a couple that I think I'm going to try, and one of them is some more dwarf French beans. We got a big bag of French beans that we've blanched and frozen from that little container outside, which I think is quite good. But now that plant is starting to get a little bit tired, so it's not too late to start off some dwarf French beans if you wanted to do that. The harvest time is not too long on those particular plants. And then I found a pack of that spinach, so we're going to put some spinach in as well, and hopefully we'll do a bit better than we did last time. But I think it's great that this year the people that started the new gardening projects have hung in there. Even if it's not been a very good start for them, they're determined and they've carried on against all these elements. So not giving up is key. But as we do approach autumn, we are now going to be looking to go back to what we did in early spring, which is more cold hardy stuff. So you can do your cabbages and your cauliflowers, things like that. They're quite cold hardy and they'll stand over winter as well, if you pick the right variety, that is. Or you could go back to doing some first earlies ready for Christmas, which we've got growing outside. And I have noticed that we've got a little bit of progress on those as well. So we're definitely going to get some potatoes later on in the year. And again, it's not too late for you to grow some. Pick first earlies or pick second earlies, because they're going to be ready to harvest in around 17 weeks. so you've got plenty of time to get some if you hadn't already done that. And if you wanted to grow some small cabbages, you could pick something like Durham Early or Greyhound, both early cabbages. And they are actually quite a reliable variety as well. Something else that's changed is that I noticed this week, for the first time this year, which is very strange, lots of cabbage white butterflies around. So Yorkie brassicas definitely need to be covered up. It's not too late for them to ruin your crops, and at this stage that's the last thing that you want. So as regards this planter, I've got this spinach, and I think this one's called Bloomsdale, so it's quite an hardy spinach. It's supposed to be less prone to bolting as well, so it's a good one to try. As I said, I've got lots of lettuce, but I'm not going to do any more lettuce at the moment. We've got plenty. And then we've got the dwarf French beans, so that's what we'll do. What I'm going to do is I'm basically going to multi-sow a few seeds into each individual pocket and get them on the way. And if it looks like it's a little bit too full, I can always pinch tops off for a couple to allow for more room. But in the event that some of these seeds don't germinate, at least we know that way we're going to get something, which is why I always multi-sow things. And apart from that, we'll have a quick look round at plants outside, and I think we've got some more tomatoes to harvest, which is great news. So let's grab the seeds, we'll take a bowl just in case, and let's go and see what we've got this weekend. But you can see how this lettuce and beetroot's coming on. The wind is hindering it a little, but it's holding its own. So I'm going to put some spinach in that bottom part, because that gets a little bit more shade. I think what I'll do with this top section is I'll put the French beans in there. It'll give them a little bit of room to grow down. So I'm going to go a little bit over top with seeds, I think. Just going to make a bit of an hole, not too deep, and just drop a few seeds in. On a day like this, that's your best option. So that's one done. I'll have to remember where that one is as well. So I'm just going to pop that in there so we know where we are. And I'll do the same again. Bit of an hole, bob those seeds in, and then just a quick cover up and we're done. These go out of date at the end of this year, so I might as well use what I can now. Very quick and easy job with this. You just make an hole, drop the seeds, and then spin round to the next section. Couldn't be any easier. And that will be his last one. Quick and simple, and that's all done. So on this next level, we'll do the same with spinach. And again, multi-sowing. So down there, a small hole, we'll drop a bunch of seeds in, cover them up. I'm not messing about too much today with this weather, so I'm actually dropping quite a few in. And that's about as quick as it gets. So we'll give those a quick water, and that's some more plants on the way. But meanwhile, everything else is growing really well. That's his little gem once again, now starting to try and art up. And we have got some good sized peppers on here now. A couple got knocked off with winds, but we've still got some. In fact, there's one right there that's blowing off. We can still use that though. We've got some quite big ones on here as well. Looks like we've got some of his runny beans that's ready as well. That's a good size one, that. But you can see these plants are getting a bit of a battering from all that wind again. But they are still trying. We've definitely got some cherry tomatoes from this sugar goss plant. Quite a few actually. So that's brilliant. We'll take all these off. There's quite a few at the back as well. That's not bad for a little harvest of tomatoes so far. We've got some more of these bigger ones. These are all as tumbling toms that were on top of that balcony, but because it winds I had to take them down. But at least we've saved us quite a few tomatoes by doing that. I think for a quick harvest that weren't bad at all. We've got that random pepper, but there's nothing wrong with it, perfectly usable, and a mixture of those cherry tomatoes, big and small. So we've got that planter sorted out. We've still got 2 levels left to do. I'm waiting to get some flowers or something for the top, and then at the bottom I'm not sure yet, but we've got lots of seeds still to look through, so maybe I'll just find something that I can pop in there. Maybe some more of those round carrots. There's plenty of room to grow things like that in those green stalk planters. And again, I will leave a link in the description to them if you want to go over to Julie's website and take a look at the options available if you think you might want to buy one for either end of this year or the beginning of next. And the website's called Rooted in Bolton, and it's a non-profit organisation, if you didn't hear me mention that last time. So for a very blustery Sunday, I think I'm just going to have a tidy round some of the plants, and apart from that, dig out your cold hardy seeds and get something planted to grow over autumn and even into winter. And if you're not 100% sure what you should be sowing, we have got a playlist on this channel, and it's sowing and growing month by month, so it covers January right through to December, and it'll tell you everything that you can sow, so you know exactly what to sow each month. So if you've not already seen that playlist, take a look at that as well. But for now, that's me done, and hopefully I'll be putting some videos on this coming week and not waiting till the weekend after, because I need to keep everybody updated on progress of these plants and what else that we're doing as we approach autumn. So thank you so much for being on board channel, and well done to everybody out there that's dug those eels in and carried on. And hopefully I'll see you on next upload. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel and do want to see more uploads, please hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and I'll see you this coming week. You all take care.